What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up a DMX controller to your Spyder LED moving headlights. So here I have my DMX controller that I can use with my lights, which would be great for a stage production, live performance, etc. To connect the DMX controller to the lights, I'm going to take the included DMX cable that comes with my light. I'm going to take the male end and plug it into the DMX out on my controller. Then I'll plug the other end into the DMX in on the first light of my chain. Now to set up another light to the chain, I'll take another DMX cable, plug the male end into the DMX out on my first light, then plug the other end into the DMX in on the next light. And to set up even more lights, you're just going to follow this process all the way down your chain. Now the next thing you'll want to do on all of your lights is set up the DMX channel mode and the DMX address. Now we have two different DMX channel modes we can use with our lights and our controller. This will just set how much control we have over our lights with our controller. So we can use the 7-channel mode or the 15-channel mode depending on how much control we want to have. For today, we're just going to use the 7-channel mode. So on our lights, we're going to want to go to the DMX channel mode and press enter, and use the up and down buttons to switch between 7-channel and 15-channel mode. Like I said, we're using the 7-channel mode, so we're going to press enter once we find the 7-channel. And then we're going to want to cycle back to the DMX address mode and set our lights to the same DMX address. For today, we'll use A001. The last thing we'll want to do on our lights is go over to the master slave mode and set our lights to the slave mode. So now we can go ahead and turn on our DMX controller, activate all of these scanners on our controller, and now we can go through each of the faders and see what they do with our lights. We can use fader 1 to move the front row of our lights, so the more I raise it, the more you'll see it tilt. And then we can use fader 2 to move the second row of lights, so if I raise that, you'll see the ones in the back start to move. Fader 3 acts as our master dimmer, or how bright we want our light to be, so the more I raise it, the brighter the light will go. And then we can use fader 4 to activate the strobe mode, so if I raise it just a little bit, you'll see that the lights slowly start to flash, and the higher I raise it, the faster the flash. Next we have fader 5, which is really cool because we can use it to set the lights to the different built-in effects. Now where we set the fader can also be considered as the value for the fader. So when we raise the faders up and down, you'll also see the numbers here on the top corner of your controller going up and down, letting you know the value that the fader is being set to. If you're following along with your DMX guide, you'll see that different ranges of values activate different effects. So for example, if I raise it anywhere from 8 to 17, it will activate effect 1. If I set it up anywhere from 28 to 37, that will activate effect 3, and so on and so forth. After we set an effect that we want to use, we can use fader 6 to control the speed of the effect, so the more I raise it, the faster the effects will go. And then we can use fader 7 to reset the effect setting. So if you get confused on what each fader does in the 7-channel or 15-channel mode, you can always refer to the DMX guide that comes included with your lights. Now if you have a wireless DMX controller like the one we're using here, you can also get wireless DMX receivers like our very own DMX WREs to plug into your light for a completely wireless setup. So on our controller, we can turn on the wireless feature here on the back. Now we can go ahead and turn on our wireless receiver by using this button here on top, and you might need a small screwdriver to do this since the buttons are small. And then you'll see the wireless ID on your receiver pop up. So in order for your controller to connect to your receiver, you're going to want to set them to the same wireless ID. The wireless ID is color-coded, as you can see on your controller and your receiver. So we're going to go ahead and set them to the same wireless ID by pressing the button here on the back of our controller. And as we keep pressing the button, you'll see all the different wireless ID colors that we can choose from. So for today, we're going to set it to blue. We're going to want to do the same exact thing on our receiver by taking our small screwdriver and using it to press this button here on the side to cycle between the different colors. And again, we're going to want to match it to our controller, so we're going to set it to blue. After that, you'll see the LED on our controller light up red, while the LED on our receiver lights up green, letting us know they're connected and communicating. So now I can take my receiver and plug it into the DMX in on my light. And now if I play with my controller, you'll see that it starts to interact with my light. I also got another receiver here that I can plug into my second light. And now I can control both of them at the same time. And even if you just had one of these wireless receivers, you can just plug it into your first light, and then you can use a DMX cable to connect your first light to your second light and still have a wireless setup. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up a DMX controller to your Spyder LED moving headlights. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.